Okay, let's take another one from Frank in Phoenix, Arizona. Arizona water is very high in calcium, and I constantly have to clean my salt cells. So Frank has a saltwater pool. Is there something I can add to the water that will help stop this buildup? I can't imagine this frequent cleaning of my cells good for the life of my salt cell. No, you're very right. There's a plating on your salt cell called ruthenium, and it's kind of the magic that makes those things.
What is it?
Ruthenium. And it's a certain type of a rare metal, but as you clean those off, you can basically wear off the ruthenium much like the treads on a tire. So it's fine, it's fine. But the less you have to do that, the better. So let's be proactive rather than reactive. We touched on it earlier, but one of the things that contributes to the scaling up of your chlorine generator in the saltwater pool is phosphates. It's calcium and phosphates, but phosphates are kind of the glue. So that calcium phosphates that's bonding up to your cell can easily be prevented by taking the phosphates out. So have your water tested, get on a treatment program.
Here we go again.
Now, I'm going to throw this over to Jim, though. If you've got existing scale, you definitely want to clean it up. And cleaning it's fine. You just don't want to have to depend on it all the time because you will kind of short cycle your unit there. So, Jim, what do you think is the best way to do that, to clean a scale or a salt cell that is plated up?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, become familiar with what kind of salt generator you have or chlorine generator you have. In most cases, the unit itself will tell you that a certain amount of time has gone by, and they would encourage you to clean it. It doesn't necessarily sense that it's dirty. It just tells you, hey, I've operated for a certain amount of hours, and you should go ahead and check to see if I need to be cleaned. If that is the case, then we would recommend that you use what we call a cell cleaning stand, and we sell those at Leslie's. You can screw your cell onto that and then pour a mixture of 1 part of muriatic acid to 10 parts of water, and that's a good, safe cleansing of that cell. But to your point too, is that good to do all the time? No, it's not. It's encouraged that you clean it, but we do have a better way. Why don't you clean as you go?
Yeah. And if it's done professionally, trust me, it's fine. The issue that I see out in the field, there's a lot of people that don't measure things out, and they add a little bit more acid. More is better, more is better. Exactly. I do the same thing, but that's where you can run into some trouble. So the less you have to do this, the better, and there's a real easy way to do that. So take your phosphates out, and you can also add a number of different type of products that actually disturb that combining process of calcium and other things in the water.
So we would encourage all customers who have a chlorine generator or a salt pool is that you use a scale inhibitor. What a scale inhibitor will do is basically what Chris is telling you, is to discourage those from combining and settling on your cell, so you don't have to clean it as much. It'll still indicate that a certain amount of time has gone by, and you should check the cell, but you'll be surprised that when you do check it, hey, pretty darn clean. Thanks, pool care made easy. We also want to make sure that you check your pH regularly. So come see us. We'll show you how you can check your pH at least a couple of times a week, and then we'll do all the other tests that are important for a salt pool twice a month for you to keep you on your algae-free guarantee.
Absolutely.
Great question, though. Thank you.
Yeah, and Frank, one thing you did mention that Arizona water is very high in calcium, and I completely understand, and we deal with this all the time. There is a product out there called ScaleFree that's featured at Leslie's that you actually add this to a pool once a month, and what it does is it goes out and it actually bonds to the calcium that's dissolved in solution. So the calcium your water needs, or that's held in that water, it actually reacts with it and it reverses the inherent charge. So calcium has a charge where when you get enough calcium in water, it tends to find other molecules of calcium. They stick together and they start to grow and grow and grow and create a scale. The scale that's formed in your saltwater cell is a calcium phosphate, but you can get a calcium carbonate, a calcium silicate, a calcium sulfate. So really, if you have too much scale, you can run into problems. And we have something that actually reverses the charge so scale molecules can't stick together. And it actually deforms those molecules. So even if they could touch each other, they won't stick because calcium actually has like shards on it. So it comes up and comes in contact with another calcium molecule, it will stick to it. Those shards are deformed from the product ScaleFree and it will not stick. So it basically makes the calcium harmless and it just stays in solution in your water. So that's another great issue, or a remedy to an issue.
I love the story. I heard it from one of your partners there, Steve. said that picture calcium as Lego blocks, that we've shaved the little nibs off the blocks, so we can't put them together anymore. We'll test your water. You got a ton of Legos. You just can't build a castle anymore, right?
The yellow castle is not getting built.
Leslie's also has Stain and Scale and Ultimate Stain and Scale that do that
All
as
good
well.
products.
So please come and see us. We'll test to see where your calcium levels are at. Sometimes you need to feed your pool water calcium so it's not destructive or thirsty. But a lot of times, especially where you're from, we need to control that because you were given hard water right out of the tap.
For sure.
And it's true with me in California as well.